This is the Elite Gaming Channel 20K Age of Empires 4 tournament. We are here to witness the final 16 generals in battle. And this is the first. Hello and welcome. My name is Anuki and I'll be your very punchable host. But it's not about punching me. Today, it's civil war in the EGC 20K tournament. And I like to see inward fighting. It's England versus England. And donning the blue banner for England is Lucifron. And waving the red banner is Don Artie. The rules are, they're very clear. It's a best of 3. If you win with a civilization, you may not pick that civilization again. It's simple rules, but these are simple times. And if this is your first video looking at the EGC, then viewer discretion is advised. It's fine. You can actually watch any of the round 16 videos in any order you like. There will be no spoilers. However, if you look at the quarterfinals, semifinals, or finals, it's going to be red alert, retaliation, because you will reveal the scores. So, just putting that out there. Now, as the players go ahead and build up, it's important to note that so far these players have defeated 5 opponents before them. There were 512 commanders in general, and only 16 generals remain in command. And I'd love to know what's up with Lucifron and Don Artie, but I can honestly say I have not seen them play yet. There were so many to cover during the event and so many surprise knockouts. The public championed the names of who they thought were mighty, and sadly they were stripped of their Age of Empires 4 decency. I like a surprise though. I like seeing new things. I don't think we're in for a surprise here just yet in the first match between Lucifron and Don Artie, both as England. We know we're gonna see a battle of longbows. Longbow on the wall. Who's going to build a council hall first? It's going to be a test of speed and early economy. The early longbowman gets the worm. That's what my grandma would say. Never really understood that lady until Age of Empires 4 came out. But if one general is able to attack first and begins picking off villagers, then that council hall's ability to produce longbowmen so quickly could quickly snowball. However, if both players are relatively equal in producing longbowmen quickly, then you might want to light a warm fire or put on the air conditioning or both, just try and maintain a healthy temperature, since we could be in for one of those long matches between longbows. Lucifron starting their council hall, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're first. The more builders dedicated to building, the faster it beeth. But let's assume Lucifron will be the first for now, and they do have their scout looking around Don Artie's less than prosperous but growing village. They see no council hall yet, and an undefended village is a very lucrative village to pillage. So, yeah, maybe they will be the early aggressor. A longbow rush, I mean, it's just as despicable as the French Royal Knights, only slightly less of a tormentuous ordeal. Speaking of doing things that we really don't want to, you should check out the video description if you would like to get involved in some competitive Age of Empires 4. The best way to do that is to find other like-minded folk, and the best way to do that is to join the Discords that are relevant. And the best way to do that is to look at the video description. We got there in the end, but also there's other bits of information in there, such as if you'd like to get involved with the Ironcast Productions. It doesn't take a pro player to do that. If you're just a casual player, there's stuff for you to do here as well. But don't take too long, just have a quick peek for now, because in a few minutes someone's going to take not one, but more than one arrow to the chest, maybe, and you wouldn't want to miss it, because you wouldn't believe what happens next. Both commanders try to obtain as much food and wood as possible to fuel the longbow economy. The question is, because we know longbows are almost certainly and always on the table. How will each player season their play? Are we going to see cavalry or men-at-arms at all? Will Don Artie focus on defending whilst Lucifron relentlessly attacks? And whose economy will be stifled more from that? Looks like we're going to lose a scout. Oh, but we do see that the Council Hall gets built, so, you know, silver lining to every cloud. Losing a scout this early, yeah, I don't think it needs to be said, but obviously it's not helpful unless you naturally play Age of Empires blind. I don't know how you scout in Braille, but Don Artie better learn soon, because Lucifron kind of looks like they will be mustering up some forces fast. Now, I don't know if they will attack with it, or harass with it, or simply just wish to be left alone, but that's what scouts are there for. It's their job to find out what the enemy is doing, so you can act in accordance of the greatest book of all time, Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Though not everything in there applies to Age of Empires. You probably have to dig a bit deeper, maybe 50 Shades of The Art of War, where Sun Tzu explores the art of war a little bit more. Things like, if the enemy sleeps, they can't retreat. And I'm not going to dive any deeper in that. You can read that yourself. Still, Lucifron just kind of hovering around Don Artie a lot, and I don't usually see a scout look like a pesty flyer as much as this one here is. And Don Artie already punching out some farms too. England do get a farming bonus around the mills, and it does cost less wood. But wood is wood, and can Don Artie spare that wood? The answer might surprise you. They have stables, so I think it's actually going to be Don Artie doing some early raiding, and Lucifron may have seen that. And I promise you no more, what are they called? God damn it, I never use them in my videos for title. Clickbait, that's it. Yeah, we don't need any of them here. But anyway, Lucifron, I think, will be able to prepare themselves in time for any incoming danger, based on just kind of the general level of skill that I'm seeing here. And should that cavalry go and find a nice target to raid, which I believe would be the wood line, typically pretty ideal because wood means a lack of bows, and it's kind of easier to get to things harvesting the wood than it is compared to things harvesting food and sheep, because you can naturally put them next to your town center or a mill, and those mills will usually be placed close or within range of the town center. We have a second town center up, which is pretty quick for Lucifron, and already have established plenty of longbows to thwart any cavalry encroaching on Lucifron's territory. Another scout out as well from Don Artie. I think it's pretty necessary to have one, so getting another one, good call. The other target to raid would be the gold. Yes, it's annoying, but if your army composition is mostly longbows, then at least you can keep producing military that can defend the gold, which is kind of what we're seeing from Lucifron. And still, raiding gold would delay upgrades, so if it's a choice between raiding gold and not raiding at all, take what you can get. Don Artie will need to know where exactly that gold is, and I mean, it'll be around their base somewhere. It's at the back for Lucifron. And I do believe Don Artie scouted that out with their first loss of scout life. Don Artie also has a few longbows out, 5 horsemen, and a scout who's gonna telegram or tweet back to their radio bunker or whatever Middle Ages people did back then. Going through Lucifron's base, there's a blacksmith going up. When you have as many longbows as you do, it's pretty important to get that +1 damage. Very popular upgrade to go ahead and get first, or even the siege equipment, because doing that allows you to go and knock down some enemy buildings. So here we go, Don Artie just roaming around the back of the base, finding some important stuff, engaging on the scout back at their village, and we can see their units are moving out. It seems like they're going to take the back route around But will Lucifron see it? And will it be gold, or would they go for? The gold seems like the more obvious and safer choice. But Lucifron's scout getting charged to the north. Sooner or even sooner, they're going to meet the end of north as we know it. This will be the last time we probably see them as we check in on Don Ardio's first raid of the day. I feel we need a radio jingle or a soundboard with that on. Lucifron, plenty to defend with, and a network of castles, 25% attack speed bonus will tear through these horsemen. How many questionably innocent civilians can they take before Don Artie, here we go, orders that retreat? I am counting 1, but 2 horsemen lost. As expected, the scout did not make it. So those 2 horsemen can rejoin the ranks of their compatriots. We got double barracks out here as well for Lucifron. So spears will be at the ready. I think next time Don Artie will strike. Siege engines also being researched, so we'll see some battering rams. Longbow, pikeman, battering ram. That is a classic early siege composition of units. So is Lucifron going to be moving out in the next minute? Wheelbarrow upgrade also happening for Lucifron. Not something you siege with, but it helps the villagers do their day-to-day tasks. Not all tasks can be done with a wheelbarrow, but apparently would do them faster if we all had one. Don Artie hanging around in the middle of the map at the moment. I don't think Lucifron quite saw that army in the middle. That's a lot of cavalry. If they can somehow get in on Lucifron's longbow, they certainly stand a chance of eliminating all of them. However, if they're inside Lucifron's village, they can move around all the buildings into the choke points, they can hug the town center, have villagers also assist. Those town centers fire twice as many arrows, and there's 2 of them, so caution is advised. So far, so passive. Certainly this next battle is going to incur some bloodshed, but both commanders opting to continue building up their army to bolster their confidence. And I'm eager to see if those blokes holding the pointy sticks are going to be useful. Cavalry kind of always finds a way and has an easy time just riding around them. Both generals getting lots of farms down too. We've got a scout here from Lucifron, which I think... no, Don Artie isn't going to go for it. Oh no, they are going to go for that scout. So I think we can write another one off. We've got a couple of horsemen over here as well, which could lend a helping hand, but they will remain... Oh, we got a battering ram going down for Don Artie, but Lucifron poked around the corner and interrupted the build. They're going to try again. Now the cavalry's kind of interesting position. I don't know if the stealth forest is blocking the vision to Lucifron, but Don Artie repositions it, so they're definitely going to be in view now. Charging in, Palings going down for Lucifron at the back. The spears take the frontal position, and some cavalry do make it round, but not too many. They'll hit the Palings, longbows on the back of both ends, but Lucifron is the one that has the numbers. The spears move to the side, cavalry now hitting the front wall of longbows. But is there enough cavalry to take out this big group of longbows? Lucifron is kiting backwards. Many of the cavalry have been defeated. That damage must be pretty spread around. Yeah, they're going to go down soon. The bonfires also healing up Lucifron's archers. They've retreated so much, but now I think is the time where they advance forward and push this away. We've got a few reinforcing soldiers from both sides, but that cavalry says, yeah, no, I'm out. Still, Lucifron's going to need more soldiers if they want to counter-attack. They always have to be kind of mindful of the distance that you have to cover. The further away the assault, the longer it takes for soldiers to get in there, which means your enemy can reinforce faster. So I don't think Don Artie is in any immediate threat. Already getting their forces back on their feet. Don Artie also with a stockpile of gold. Just a small one, but perhaps they are thinking about moving into the castle age soon. Just over 700 gold there at the moment. And Lucifron is going to need to think about what forest they wish to chop down next, or dare I even say it, thinking about a trade route with a neutral market. And it's been quite interesting watching all of the matches in the EGC so far. I haven't actually seen too much trading. And it's pretty great on certain civilizations. England doesn't get a bonus. But nonetheless, it's kind of around here that it's important to think about being ready and prepared to make that switch, just like farms. Lucifron, the Arrow Swirler. I like to give these player titles. Making a move to the northern side of Don Artie settlement, but a posted guard will see that. So Don Artie can react with their cavalry unit. Here we go, sound the drums of war, because some of these folks are about to get wasted, and that's not enough spearmen. And I don't think that's enough longbow either. The palings do go down. They make Don Artie's cavalry retreat. Back in they go. The spearmen form a barricade. They try the best they have with the numbers that they've got. Don Artie commands them to move forward through the palings, through the pain. It looks like this time Don Artie can win this. They can reinforce the line, since this time they're fighting in Don Artie's territory. We saw Lucifron earlier trying to up their unit production capabilities. That could offset this. But for now, they continue the kiting, keep moving backwards. So Longbow joining the flank individually. And as Lucifron kites back to middle field, it feels like we can see that shift of power. Don Artie getting whittled down by the mastered art of stutter step. These longbow getting a lot of value, and whilst Lucifron seemingly wraps up this second battle, feels like they come out on top, but not with enough leverage to be able to take this fight back to Don Artie's capital. They will advance, trying to get whatever archers they can. And maybe it would be worth trying to score some villager kills, but doing so could risk the remnants of their army. If Don Artie is able to rebuild their army like they had done previously, we do have some farmers on the outskirts. Could be ripe for the bow plucking. Don Artie, though, not a bad sized force, looks about equal in stature. But that was the case last time, and it wasn't enough, so they gotta go bigger, bolder, but just as brave. Still going with just spears and longbows. A stream of units still pouring from Lucifron's base as well, and they've definitely managed to keep a good pace with their economy. Potentially feeling confident at attacking now. Perhaps even gonna lay down a battering ram shortly. We have the White Tower being popped up, defensive, keep building. But now is not the time for defense. It's Lucifron's assault. Already that outer farm has been purged of villagers. Who will be the next target for Lucifron? I know who's the target for Don Artie. If you can't fight their army, fight the logistics. They take their cavalry that they've got, and they will try and find some villagers. Cut the tail off the snake. That's what my other grandma used to say. Very confusing having both my grandmas in the same room. Something has spooked Lucifron. They're heading back to admire the construction work of the White Tower. Lots of spears, lots of longbows. lots of hope from these men at the hand of Lucifron's command. The White Tower could be a little more white. You know, not to complain or anything. Could be a bit more of a tower. It'd be nice if we could all fit in it. You have a second army as well for Artie. Looks like they're going to combine their forces, so not going for a raid after all. Must have watched maybe too many scary movies recently. It's never a good idea to split up in those. However, in the world of RTS, splitting up can be a very good idea. But is it a good idea here? Because this time it looks like Artie has brought the biggest force that they've brought so far. And then they've brought it to the White Tower. Lucifron isn't going to get a better defense than here. Artie brings the party. Can Lucifron make it gone? The spears catch about half of the horsemen. The other half goes straight to the longbows. We got a mangonel out here produced by the White Tower. Takes a shot right onto the longbow. That is a critical hit. And it seems like this time round, Artie's army is catastrophically destroyed in seconds. Lucifron this time has plenty of healthy men, women, and children to send into no men, women, and children's land. This is the third battle that they've won, but will it be the first half of a war? Remember, it's a best of 3. Lucifron will chase the remaining routers. Artie signaling the retreat as more troops join the retreat, and that is a surrender. Artie's Red English freedom fighters have been defeated. Lucifron will acquire a spoil of war for their victory. The two will meet again in battle. But for now, my name's Anuki. Let's sally forth.